Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind, but please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of this past week's episode of The Originals on the CW, which is episode 5 of the 5th and final season called Don't It Just Break Your Heart? So yeah, right off the bat, immediate apologies for not reviewing episode 4. And it's not just with The Originals either. I've been generally a little bit spotty with reviews on other shows lately as well. Like I was just making up some time with Supernatural as well the other day. And, it's just that, it's not that it's a lack of interest with the show, especially in its final season. I'm really ready to see how it concludes. Although, like I've said, I feel like they're sort of padding time a little bit. It's still a very good season. I actually think it's even better than season 4 already. And I am interested where they're going with it. But honestly, I work a full-time job. I try to watch my weekly shows, and then there are shows I'm trying to watch in my free time as well. And it's kind of stacked up and overwhelmed me a bit lately, so I try to give myself a couple breathers here and there. But nonetheless, I do feel bad for missing the review of last week's episode, especially in its final season. I feel really bad about that. But I am, here's my promise to you. Maybe I shouldn't make this promise, but I'm really, really going to try and review every episode of this last season. Obviously, I'm not going to miss the major ones, but I'm really going to try and commit to, just nailing it down, each week it airs again. I did it before, I can do it again. Because, The Originals, it deserves a ton of respect in its final season. And this episode is very good. I liked last week's episode as well, but I think this one is even better. But before we get into it, I also wanted to bring up the fact that Legacies has been picked up by the CW, which is the Hope-centric as well as Alaric Saltzman-centric spin-off of the Vampire Diaries and The Originals. It's going to be coming this fall already. Of course, with the lead being Hope, and of course Matt Davis coming back as Alaric. And, I am excited for it. Now it bugs me and it kind of makes me question why Wayward Sisters, the Supernatural spin-off, wasn't picked up. But nonetheless, I think Legacies, has potential. I don't think it should go on for too long. Maybe a couple or a small handful of seasons, but I don't know, I think Hope is potentially worth exploring, although I'm kind of with the group of people that think Summer Fontana was a little bit more entertaining as a character. But I'm also very excited to have Alaric as a lead as well, as one of the two leads, really, because he was always one of my favorites on the Vampire Diaries, as like a mentor, father figure, and with this, with him being one of the two central characters, I think we'll see him go into some pretty badass hunter modes maybe or something, which should be cool. I'm excited to see him, really get into action again too. I definitely think Alaric is a character worthy of carrying a show, so I'm happy about that part of it for sure. But, I'm a tad worried because, like I said, I did like Summer Fontana more than the current actress. I don't have her name in my head right now. And and I really don't like her relationship with Roman right now. But as we found out in this episode, that's pretty much going to come crashing down at some point soon. Because in this episode we find out that both her and the vampire causing trouble in New Orleans are actually connected to this group of, Nazi vampires, really, or, just everything that happened with that in this episode, as well as finding out Antoinette is also the daughter of a man Klaus had knew in the 30s, 40s, and such. And I like how that was explored. I like the whole, I shouldn't say I like the Nazi thing. What I mean is I think it's kind of makes sense to incorporate, a little bit of that into the original's history, because as big of an event as it was, it would make sense that these beings would have dealt with that in some way. And I like how that tied in and sort of paralleled, Klaus not wanting Hope to, lose her wolf side fully, even if it was to save her mother. Reminded him of what happened to him when he dealt with Michael when he was younger. So I like that comparison as well. But of course, he's doing literally everything he can to try and find some kind of middle ground to ensure the safety of Haley, as well as letting Hope be who she wants to, or who she is, really. Now I'm getting increasingly worried about Haley, though. We still haven't seen her. It's been a few episodes. I feel like they're dragging it out a bit, and I'm still worried that they're actually going to kill her off, because of a supposedly leaked storyboard image that mentioned her eulogy later on. It's really just going to suck again if they kill Haley off after everything, after her whole journey through the series, but still crossing my fingers they don't make that mistake, but we'll see. I do want to go into this episode more, which I will for a couple minutes, but this review is going to have to be a little bit more brief than I would like, which is ironic considering I just talked about, really committing to it again, which I am. But it's just almost 2 a.m. and I'm going to try and get some sleep tonight. But yeah, I liked all the flashbacks too, especially when Klaus went after the family of the man and everything like that. Where we see Antoinette in the flashback and everything. It was just a really savage scene for Klaus, just slaughtering. He acknowledges that they were innocent. I really liked his scene with Marcel towards the end, acknowledging his part in the conflict. I thought it was actually, of course, really nicely acted by Joseph Morgan. God, why hasn't he gotten an Emmy yet? Holy shit. Yeah, apparently he's also going to be, Joseph Morgan is going to be starring in a TV version of Gone Baby Gone. I think it's going to be on Fox. He was cast as the lead not too long ago. But we'll talk about that when more comes out about it. But yeah, he's one of the greatest actors I've ever seen, and I'll watch him in anything. But yeah, it was a really good episode. The only part that, again, dragged was the Hope and Roman stuff, but that's tying up the main things anyway now, so maybe it'll get a little bit better. Again, still no Haley, so come on. But yeah, there's a lot more I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to have to cut this review a little bit short. But really, besides that, I also know some people got to be enjoying Klaus right now because he's more ruthless than he has been in a while, a little bit more savage, and I know some people have wanted to see that side of him again for a while. And so have I, really, but there seems to be some people that just completely ignore Klaus's development, why he's grown kinder, why he's shown more compassion over the seasons. It's great character development, it's a great character evolution, I think, that they've given Klaus over the years. But of course it makes sense that he would break and sort of be a little more like his old self at this point, but he's still hanging on, and he's not completely lost in himself again. So yeah, I think it's really interesting and entertaining for sure. I'm giving this episode about a 9.2 out of 10. So follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.